Welcome to our Pathways to Success seminar. I am the Marcus Parmigiani. I am the Senior Manager of Program Development and Partnerships at World Education Services, and one of this session tonight is part of the Global Talent Bridge program that we have at World Education Services. Global Talent Bridge is not a new program, but it is an evolving and growing program. It really is dedicated to providing resources and doing advocacy work to help skilled immigrants in Canada and the United States, actually, to integrate into society and find both educational and career placements that they fulfill their career path. So before we get started, Jody, our program manager, is going to give some more introductions and get us underway.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm just going to introduce our first presenter. Larry Hines is a manager with Access Center for Internationally Educated Health Professionals at the Health Force Ontario Marketing and Recruitment Agency. This organization is an operational service agency of the Ontario government focused on building and maintaining the province's health and human resources capacity. The Access Center assists internationally educated professionals with information and advice on professional licensure and alternative career options. At the agency, Mr. Hines has worked with a number of programs that assist communities, employers, and healthcare professionals with recruitment and career support, such as the Health Force, a job site, and Career Start initiatives for physician assistant graduates. As a former Foreign Service officer with the Canadian Immigration Department and manager of Ontario's Business Immigration Program, Larry has worked extensively with newcomers to Ontario, and he supports colleagues on immigration-related matters. So please join me in welcoming Larry Hines.
Good evening, and thank you very much inviting me to speak. As Jody mentioned, I'm with Health Force Ontario Marketing and Recruitment Agency and within our Access Center, which works with internationally educated health professionals within the regulated health professions. So there's 25 regulated health professions in Ontario, and so we work with internationally trained individuals who are coming and looking to navigate their way towards one of those licensed professions, or potentially to look at other alternatives to that career direction, depending on what options are available to them and choices that they're looking to make. Our agency was established to support the Ministry of Health with a number of different health human resource related programs. So we act as administrators for different programs, including the work that we do within the Access Center. At the context, some of you, I'm guessing, have probably heard or perhaps have worked with any of our staff within the Access Center. Yeah, I see a couple of people nodding. So some of what I'll tell you, you probably already know and will be first-hand experience. And I hope to be able to, those that haven't heard of us, give you a sense of the services that we do have, and talk a little bit about some new, a new initiative that we're working on, and some new resources that we're trying to make available to help with success in the workplace and identify different kinds of opportunities that might be able to pursue. So we've worked since 2007 with many internationally educated health professionals. And some of the clients that we've worked with have been overseas in planning their eventual move to Canada, to Ontario, in a pre-arrival research phase. And they've been looking to gather information about what the requirements would be to pursue a chosen profession. And so we try to make sure that they have accurate information, know what the different processes would be. But a lot of our clients we work with, or then continue to work with us after they've arrived in Canada, in Ontario. As you might expect, the occupations, the clients, the professional background that they have mirror very much the health professionals that are coming through the immigration system. But these 6 professions represent the vast majority of the clients that we work. But we've worked with professions from across the spectrum of regulated health professions, and certainly physicians, nurses, pharmacists, dentists, significant part of the makeup. And as you would expect, really with a very international, diverse client group, where the country of origin, where people have come from, the professional background and training of the clients that we've worked with have covered really all corners of the globe. And these are the countries of the sort of most prevalent. One note here with Canada, that also represents a part of who the client group that we work with are Canadians that have gone overseas and pursued education in a regulated profession. Medical students overseas probably represents the most significant group of those. And one of the challenges, of course, is that medical education is only part of the pathway towards ultimately becoming licensed and registered within the profession. And so in most cases, or many cases, there's no residency training after the period of medical education. So even Canadians who have studied overseas then do have some of the same challenges in trying to navigate towards licensure as those doctors that have been in practice in their home countries and have moved to Canada, moved to Ontario. So based on the work that we've done with clients, and many clients over a number of years, and the feedback that we've had, I want to talk just a little bit about some of the challenges. And I think that those would come really as no surprise to anyone that's been either navigating these processes on their own, but also some of the supports, the things that clients have found useful for them as they've tried to navigate through either towards licensure or to connectedness with the workplace. And so certainly a couple of the things that have clearly are a challenge or having to navigate is how to become connected to employers, to the workplace, to get some of that experience. In some professions, that you need to have practicum or practical experience as part of the registration process. In other cases, it's just trying to get a deeper understanding of how the healthcare system works here, being able to network and to connect volunteer opportunities. So all of those strategies that people have used, all about trying to enhance their experience, their understanding, and their connectedness to the health system. So things like, are there volunteer opportunities or on-the-job training opportunities, all built around trying to really understand as much as possible the health workplace and to leverage that connectedness towards their ultimate career goals. So in looking at how the work that we do and the services that we offer, looking at the continuum, it will reference that we certainly connect with people even in the pre-arrival, understanding their understanding of what requirements are, what kinds of documents and things that they can do in their home country before they arrive that can save time and effort after they arrive here. And then we have a range of licensing and services around alternative careers. And then for some clients, even after either success in licensure or into other careers, that isn't necessarily the end of the journey of success in the workplace. And so looking at trying to, what other kinds of resources can we build out to help people understand the dynamic of the workplace that can be new in different settings that people haven't had that experience yet in, and trying to overcome some of the challenges that people might experience in the workplace. And that's an interesting project that we're working with a partner with U of T, and I'll highlight some of that work because it really relates to that effective integration in the workplace after. So our services and the work that we do sort of fall into 4 kind of areas. We work with a lot of clients to refer to different programs. We're going to hear about a very interesting program this evening in bridge training, and there are different kinds of programs. Some of them would be focused on different objectives. Some of the bridge training programs that have been developed over the past have been leading towards a particular licensed occupation. Other kinds of bridge training programs might be broader in scope as to what kind of career opportunities they can open. But there's a wide network of agencies that help with employment, that help with settlement, and so certainly as we work with clients, trying to make sure that they're aware of the different services and organizations that are in their local geographies or that have kinds of services that may help to answer the questions or give them support. And so we certainly do a lot of referrals, and similarly have referrals from a number of those agencies who perhaps don't have as much experience with some of the health professions around licensure or around some of the other dynamics. So we get lots of referrals back and forth, and are really pleased to work with a wide network of organizations. We have developed over time a series of information sessions and workshops and programs. Some of them are online that we have in webinar format. Others are in-person sessions. And the idea of those sessions is to try to empower clients to have greater understanding, give them greater insights. Either in some cases they're specific to the professions, so some orientation to particular professions. And in other cases they're more a foundational understanding of the Canadian healthcare system. Whether you're navigating it into a particular profession or want to be working within that the healthcare system or close to it in different occupations, having a broad understanding of the structure and the different healthcare settings and how the components link together is a session that we deliver in person through a series of over 5 weeks. There are also, it's an adaptation of a program that U of T developed a number of years ago, and they continue to deliver that program online. And I think it's very powerful and valuable because people are time constrained, whether they can come to sessions, whether they can only come to evening sessions. Being able to have options for online programming to gain insights and understanding is also valuable, and that's part of our thinking in terms of trying to take some of our sessions and put that knowledge and share that knowledge through webinars and online formats and really build out the resources on our website. So we've done for OSCEs, which are objective structured clinical examinations, some of the professions use OSCEs as part of the steps towards the assessment for registration. And so for many professionals have never experienced or know exactly how OSCEs are structured here in Canada. So we tried to create an orientation session just to understand, be able to get a chance to experience it before actually going and doing the OSCE as part of a licensure process. So we are currently working on different sessions, trying to build out different knowledge products around how to understand transferable skills of health professionals and be able to apply those in different contexts. Looking at resume, cover letter writing from a health professional perspective. There's a lot of organizations that do deliver many different kinds of workshops. So collectively, being able to have choices and options, things that are close to home, and that have sessions on different perspective, I think ultimately is valuable. As I mentioned, we have a series of webinars and videos. Online, we're continually trying to build out resources that would be useful. In an alternative career context, one of the products that we have online is an alternative career toolkit. We're in the process of trying to revamp this and expand on it and to make it more robust and add information to it. And so in the weeks and months ahead, we hope to be able to expand on the information that's there. And we certainly have a lot of direct advisory service, one-on-one with advisors at our office. Some clients both come and experience our online sessions, workshops, and also work with advisors on a one-on-one basis. So I mentioned about a project that we're working with currently, and it's a project that is in partnership with U of T, and it's supported with funding from Health Canada, and we're very pleased to have Health Canada's support on it. goal and the objective of this project is sort of two parts. One, to also be able to explore and bring up more resources to help people navigate towards alternative careers. So some of the programming and the sessions and the information sessions and webinars we're building out, a lot of those are being done certainly in a context of alternative careers, but also a lot of those sessions would be, even if people are pursuing licensure, would find those sessions to be useful. But certainly with U of T, is trying to put up using an online education platform that U of T and the universities and colleges have a lot of expertise, is to bring more resources to help understand success in the workplace, and looking at it both from the perspective of the international health professional, but also from the workplace. In some work that U of T did in looking at the kinds of needs, what opportunities could there be to help with workplace integration, recognize that success in the workplace, it's mutual adaptation. It's a two-way street between the worker, especially someone new into those workplace settings, and the employer, and what kinds of resources and supports could be brought to the employers to help co-workers, managers, hiring managers, empower them to have greater success with hiring internationally educated, because there are, some of the challenges that can happen in the workplace only aren't known ahead of time. It's only some of the cultural understanding of the workplace, and every different workplace setting has its own culture. And when you're new and haven't had a lot of experience within the employment setting here, trying to navigate that and understand some of that dynamic. So that's what the online resources is trying to give, very practical tools and resources to help people navigate through the different dynamics that they would face as they come into new settings, whether they be in healthcare or in related fields. So our online, I left over to the side a brochure that has our contact information and how to connect and register with us. Our office, our center, is located in Queen Street, just over by Jarvis. But as I say, we do a lot online. Just to wrap up as we move on to the next session, just a couple of comments about alternative careers. Sometimes I had the question, and our advisors that work with clients and licensure. So if I'm not going to end up being a dentist or ultimately navigating to my chosen profession, what other occupation can I do? And I think, it'd be great if there was a simple answer for that, to say, if you can't be X, then you can be Y. And in some cases, that there may be clear paths that open up for people. But I think the real dynamic and the real challenge, but opportunity, is really looking at the individual skills and talents and interests that you all have, and saying, if I'm not going to move towards my chosen profession, by whatever path that might take, what is it that I really feel that would be rewarding, that I would feel that would be empowering for me? And that's a very individual kind of exploration, and this is in part saying, well, what are some of those roles and occupations there? But we've had clients that have gone to many, many different kinds of professions, whether in research capacity, whether in informatics, within healthcare setting, insurance industry. A lot of different industries value and have people that have different understanding of different sectors. So understanding healthcare and the dynamic in healthcare is valuable from the insurance industry, for example, because insurance insures every kind of work site. Medical claim benefits, it's just one example of a path that wouldn't be for everybody, but it's a very open-ended way to explore. And I think through the work that we're trying to do and the sessions and knowledge and resources we're trying to build out is to help people navigate a plan, overcome the sense of not being the profession that I was ideally mapping to, but how can I map towards a rewarding, meaningful career? And there's lots of resources online. There's many different websites that already exist that can help understand different careers. And so part of it is just what's a sound approach and what's an empowering approach to try to map forward with those. So our, please visit our website in the days and weeks ahead. We hope to be building out more resources that will be very meaningful, very useful for trying to navigate through that. And as we build out different sessions and webinars, hope that those will be helpful and to be able to work with some of our advisors to map that plan forward and taking advantage of the other resources that are out there and navigating to some of the different kinds of career bridge training programs that really are very deep and meaningful experiences. So, anyway, with that, I will wrap up.
Great. Thank you, Larry, for sharing all those wonderful initiatives that Health Force Ontario is currently engaged in. I think that was very informative. Our next presenter is Dr. Shafi Bhuiyan. He is a distinguished visiting scholar, research fellow, and adjunct professor at the Chang School of Ryerson University, where he holds the position of academic director for Internationally Trained Medical Doctors Program. Prior to joining Ryerson, he spent over 10 years teaching and conducting research in the areas of global public health at the universities in Bangladesh, Thailand, Japan, and U of T in Canada. He's published over 30 papers and led numerous conferences and projects in global health. He also served as a senior manager and scientist at OHTN, Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. Currently, he also holds an assistant professor position at DLSPH U of T and is the co-chair of the Canadian Coalition of Global Health Research, capacity building for the next generation of young scientists. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Shafi Bhuiyan.
Thank you. So I'm very thrilled that our internationally trained medical doctors have something to say to the people in this Canada. It's a great country. At least we send out some message to the academics, policymaker. Hey, we are here. We are here. We need to do something, and that's my inspiration. And I'm very thankful to Ryerson senior management, especially our dean, Dr. Mari Pantujani, and also Health Force Ontario and our partner organizations. So you can see our website. So there is a 10 or 12 GTA-based partner who is supporting for this program. So very exciting. I'm hopeful every day. So here I can see many known faces I know, and maybe outside this room also we have several. Maybe they know about it. I don't know how many, but our message is out there now. So I'm here to clarify you, to give you some information. What is bridging program? What is ITMD bridging program? So there's nothing different IMG and ITMD. I just try to rebranding these things in a way from negative to positive, like internationally trained medical doctors bridging program. So as you know, Ryerson Chang School is a champion of bridging program. They have bridging program for dietetics, nutrition, nursing, midwife, all spectrum of the health. But I found that there is one missing piece. There is medical doctors. We have nothing served yet. So why not we start? And I start talk with many international trained doctors, maybe hundreds, several hundreds, of what actually you need to do. So this bridging program is intention to give them additional skill and competency for alternative non-licensed health sector job in Canada. So because Canada is a wonderful multicultural diverse society, we need to enrich our health system. We need to utilize this brain so that ultimately these additionally trained people can integrate in our health system and they can support, and our health system also get benefited. So it's a win-win situation. So that's my objective. And that's all about. So we have a web link there. So maybe due to time constraints, I'm not going through the website. So I think all of you have this note, www.ryerson.ca/ce/ITMD. So at your own pace of time, you can see and visit about the program. So as we all know, in Canada, in my neighbor, my friends' friends, everybody know our neighbor is the doctor, came from Syria, Australia, Japan, Canada, many countries, so as trained, but they have nothing figured out what to do, because this ITMD's life is not rosy in this country up until now, you could say. Even Ontario or Canadian Ontario Education Commissioner also spoke about this. This life is not rosy. So I can see from this graph, only 3 to 5% that medical doctors are able to achieve the dream job, the medical doctor licensing job. So 97% of our brothers and sisters is left out. So we are happy to work for this 97% people. So this is for the history of the bridging program. And you know this is from IMGs versus CEMGs. You could see this graph about 2012, the highest IMGs is recruited in this country. I don't think we have any more chance to get involved for a clinical job. So if it is the highest number, so for last 10 years, 20 years, so then our hundreds of thousands of people are jobless in the clinical sector. So you can understand the urgency of the program or urgency of something, so we need to place it. I could imagine clinical licensing is one of the best solution, but bridging program to train the alternate may not be the final solution, but is a starting point, stepping stone, so that they can start thinking about different things without wasting time. So this is the actual motivation to develop this program. And our friend from Health Force Ontario, he also already mentioned. So I don't want to go detail. You can see Indonesia, Pakistan, Iran, Egypt, China, Iraq, Bangladesh, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Nigeria, top 10 doctors they are sending, coming from. So, and this totally agree with my recruitment application. They reflect the same thing, which I'm going to show you shortly. And what inspired us to develop this program, as I said, over 5,000 our medical doctors in this great country, especially in the GTA, residing and face a number of challenges to find a job, right? And many of them are not at all in the job market. Some are underemployed, so-called survival job. All you know, what does it mean? I don't have to explain this. It's very unfortunate for us. It means that we lost the opportunity to use this province, this benefit from advanced educated people in this country. So that inspired us to do something, especially me. And why this program is unique? I know our medical doctors have a lot of energy, a lot of education, a lot of understanding about the clinical practice, drug, medicine, disease, they're expert, they're no doubt. But some other countries, some outside countries, some regional countries, different way of curriculum. So somehow the research and other management and communication thing are missing piece there. So we want to bring that topic within 12 weeks of time so that we give them additional skill and competency to get there. And the most unique thing is that after learning in the classroom, we try to arrange, we almost guaranteed practical placement for our program with our program partners so that they will accept them 4 to 6 weeks on-site job coaching or job training. The way we design, because they have a lot of experience at negative. So they have been refused many times. So our friends here, so we can test it, how many people rejected everywhere, anywhere. So bridging program acceptance is the first starting point of their positive news. And second starting point is their access to the practicum spot. So they feel empowered, oh no, we have a confidence, we can make it. That's little moment actually required. That's why this is the unique part of the program. And this additional skill, especially in the health research, health informatics and data management, and also leadership and communication skills. These 4 things we teach in the classroom. And after that, we send them for practice in the health industry, GTA. So I will show you who are the partner, our partners are. And as this is objective also already I mentioned, this is the totally non-licensed job preparation program. There is no guarantee of the job. We just train them in additional skill and competency so they will be confident. They can compete with the other health applicants in the profession. So I think this facilitates the ITMDs to integrate in the job market in this country. And this already I mentioned the 12 weeks in class and 4 weeks practicum session. So and also we coach about their portfolio development, how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, how to face the interview, and also we mentoring, group mentoring. We also share the potential job areas are, there is so many, because many of my first cohort, they said, we don't know that we don't know many things. So this is unknown thing we explore through this journey together, this is for sure. And many of you may know how the admission or process is very rigorous and very competitive. And you can see this graph very easy to understand. So recruitment is process like really is giving me a lot of extra stuff we have to do. Other basic program is just you came and you can enroll, but this program is different. So we have around 500 phone call and email in the first cohort, and we got 180 more application is valid to consider to the cohort, but I have only 10 people capacity. But finally, after the request of my partners, organization, those who conduct the interview, we took 14 people. And the second cohort also same thing happened. We got a 280 application, and we have the same thing for 10 capacity, but we increase into 15. So this is the situation, and how we make it? We check about their education background, we check their public health or research background, we check their letter of intent, 1 page, and we check their interview because we need a telephone interview, some potential things, and then we ask them for group interview. So there is 4 process, so the way they are selected. And also most important thing is when we talk to them, their motivation, how much they want to change. That's not only on our program. We want to see their positiveness, we want to see their eager, they are really engaged, they want to really inspire to do something different than the clinical thing so that they will be successful. So we don't want to push them, we want them to push us. So hey, I'm very much interested, I have this skill, and I'm ready to go. Our job is to unpack their potentials and connect with the people, like connecting the dots, so they will be successful. So as I said already, so many people is interested. I'm sorry for that, we can't accept. I don't want to accept hundreds of people in the cohort and then we can't take care. So that is not my objective. Our objective at Ryerson, we want to make sure this is the very pilot. We want to recruit the best of the best people so that job market employer will understand the ITMDs are really great, they can make the difference. And afterward, of course, many university, many department will come forward and make a huge for you. So our ambition is to cover 5,000 people, but overnight is not possible. It is understandable. But we are going slowly but surely. That's what I can say. You can see the geographic distribution. So how our participant came from, North America, Africa, Middle East, South Asia, Europe, all parts of the world. So our participant. So it means that huge demand is a lack of opportunity for them to do something in this kind. That's why I said it's unique. And this is the first proud batch with our provost and dean, and all of the people are wonderful. They learn a lot here. You will hear from Dr. Ben. He's from Iran. So I'm so happy that some people are getting benefit of it. So right away. So this is the first and second cohort distribution, male, female. So last time was too much female dominating. This time male dominating. I don't know why. Just the reality. And this is the country who apply for the program. So many country applicants they apply. You could see most of the country from Middle East, and also India, Iraq, Iran, so Bangladesh, Pakistan is huge. So you can see. And this is the second batch. recently. So they just started, and I think they just started like a couple of weeks. Another 2 weeks left. They're going to finish. So can you imagine, time flies very fast. And I try to explore, this is my pilot program, so I want to understand why and who are these people and coming to this program. So we found all these doctors are some with, majority of these actually masters and PhD degree. And they have a huge background in working research and public health and clinical practice as a consultant and other advisor position, but they are nowhere. So that's why our program, and this is also known that is already identified there's a huge demand of non-licensed health sector jobs, especially health research and management position. That's why we try to build the capacity and additional competency through that line so that they can successful. And my experience shows the participant in this program is very excited and engaged with the faculty, with the peer. So as example, they learn one skill from the instructor, they learn another 13 skill from the 13th friend. So after the program, when they were in the program, they have one skill. End of this 3-month program, they have a 14 skill. So I just make sure they have a 14 skill now, they're more competent. That is actually goal. My goal is not the job, my goal is to make them confident with the skill and competency, they can compete with the job. So our collaborative partners is excellent support I got, and these are the partners. And you can see from Ontario Health Force to the SICKI, even also Public Health Ontario and Aulana, where I also work as assistant professor. So all are very collaborative and supportive. That's how you can go forward. And we have a huge success from their content, what we're teaching. You can see the color change, the before we took their course and then after that they took the course, how competent they are. And there is so many studies now I'm doing. One of the studies important is if you invest $7,000 for one person, so Ontario will get 142% return after 1 year. Our study shows the Ryerson Chinese School, all the bridging program, people get job 6 months to 12 months. So that's the reality, and it's a very small amount of money. If we can invest, we can build this huge health force, which is very important. And I have some testimonial from the students, so you will hear from Ben about this program. So, but finally, I would like to conclude here because time constraint. So people apply for improve their skill and competency. People apply to stay in the job field. People apply to be connected, and most importantly, they want to overcome their cultural gaps so that they can be successful in their profession, especially health sector. And therefore, additional competency related this training is very useful because I think it will give us both economic gain and also brain gain instead of brain drain or lost opportunity in this great country. So thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you, Dr. Shafi Bolian, for telling us more about the internationally trained medical doctors program at Ryerson. And now we have a testimonial from this program from Benham Hashimi. He is a graduate of Ryerson Internationally Trained Medical Doctors Program and is a research assistant at Bridgepoint Hospital. He has a background in medicine with a Master of Public Health and a Master of Philosophy for a PhD candidacy in tissue procurement and banking for granting. He was also a counselor for public relations for the largest and oldest medical university in Iran. He also has been editing health and medical journals for a number of years and also won awards for Singapore's Medical Journal in 2013. He's currently involved in a research project funded by the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care to create a frailty assessment tool, and is a member of American Society of Quality World Association of Medical Editors and Committee on Publication Ethics. So please join me in welcoming Benham Hashimi.
Good evening, everybody. So for my professional background to the set, I studied medicine for 7 years, and then went to University Health Network that was responsible for 3.5 million people, the population of Toronto. and worked at the district health center and urban health center. Then later got my PhD degree, and so taking everything seriously, got to know the processes there. So somehow translated a 7,000-word article, and then that lady introduced me to NRCMSI, that's quite like NIH in Iran. So, and after that, but it didn't last much, just three months, but they had somebody that introduced me to another institute. That was that institute. So I started editing medical journals. That went on for 9 years. So after some time, for the same thing, I was invited to the public relations of Tehran University of Medical Sciences for the past 5 years. And after that, I got to a PhD degree, a place fulfilled the MPhil program. Journey to Canada, I really took it really seriously. Classes, workshops from Health First Ontario, holding community centers, holding everywhere. Distant places, YMCA, got to know what's going on. And so that was it. So volunteer job. Some of my friends, the people I met, they were saying that, it's not useful, it's a waste of time, things like that. But when I was younger, I was a Boy Scout, just to help, to work. So that's part of the culture. Non-hero people you see at hospitals, they collect money for a purpose. Even young and old here know how important it is. I really cannot, this evening, cannot emphasize this less than the way it should. And after that, so again, I went to community health centers. So there were some elderly people gathering there. Gradually, they invited me to be some part of the advisory committee. So these things like chain reaction. When I went to, for instance, to Toronto General Hospital to do a volunteer job, they looked at it, they said, were you there? So that one helped again. Volunteer job at TGH. When I went to the place that I'm working now, they said, were you a volunteer at TGH? Yes, I said, yes. So everything helps now, especially when you want to get into your profession of interest. And networking, really, that's the great thing here in this country. So first, when you come, so this is, you can look at it as negative, but again, it's positive. So you're on top of your job, then you think you maybe get into a research center, or at least a health center, but it's not easily available at the first glance. And you are on the street. You have to look for a job, and you're not successful. But here, in an evidence-based country, research is very important. So I put that research on top of that triangle. So there are jobs offered at different places, but they are not exactly what you intend. And you might not have those capacities, or those job descriptions do not apply to you. So it seems to be a bit challenging at first. So if you want to adapt to those jobs, it might take a toll, unless you have a roadmap for it. This is from Statistics Canada. You see, finding a job is the most challenging thing for immigrants, 46% of the problem. But I don't look at that. I want to see which one's easier to beat. So I turn this upside down. The first one, the smallest one, is children, no, 12 kids, so you know how it's easy, children, taking care of the children. But the second one is access to education. So that brings me to this program, ITMD program. So, and that solves the biggest problem, your job. So how does the ITMD bridging program help me? It's, when they select you among 500 people, you're already singled out. Any smart human resource manager would look differently when you say, among 500 people, I was among the 10 people selected there. They say maybe the potential person to recruit. It's custom designed. It has a custom designed curriculum for Canadian research centers. You might know all these already, but it's taught in a new context. Project management, great people teaching that. Leadership skills, special leadership skills, interpersonal relations, writing letters, everything. It's a great course. Health informatics. I had 2 great health informatics books, textbooks, that they wouldn't help at all because they were about the United States. Here, there are lots of websites. You are lost in the web if you don't know them. They tell you where to look for what kind of information. Research methods, how to do research, and then great support all through the way. Meditation even. One evening, we have a meditation class from some great guys over there. We have some conference at U of T, blah, blah. That's very important. So great practice, and to tell the story short, a long story short, for 15 months I was looking for a job. On the 15th day, I got a job offer, including 2 weekends, 4 days. It means on the 11th day. So I really took it seriously because I didn't say, no, I am tired. So I've been looking now, it's a place to take a rest. No, it's a place to start work and take it seriously and work vigorously. So that's the place you find this is how you find your place. And 3 kind of suggestions. You have lots of skills. Try just to master them. For instance, LinkedIn, become at least a master user. Twitter, real time, you can follow lots of institutions inside Canada and outside Canada, and in real time you get now information about the academic world. And then apply for ITMD program. Great course, great practicum, great networking, because all the networking has been done already. All those 15 institutions, 16 institutions that Dr. Shafi put their logos on, lots of things have been going on at the background. And they know Dr. Shafi, they know the program, they know who are they investing in. And getting to a master program to get maybe a PhD program if you'd like to. But here, if you work hard, you get up the ladder very soon. As I got in the 2nd month, I got to be the director of metrology. Conclusion, keep positive, problem solving, think outside the box. For instance, when I heard we have 38th rank in health, I said, oh, so there's lots of things to do. So why not? Then actively engaging work and volunteering. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Benem, for providing us with your experience within the Ryerson University's Internationally Trained Medical Doctors Program. Our next speaker is Vanessa Hsu. She is currently the project coordinator and career navigation consultant for the Active Career Advancement Project in Greater Toronto. Her roles include overseeing the program in Toronto as well as working with internationally trained professionals in their search for an alternative career pathway. She joined Success in 2010 with a passion to positively help people overcome barriers to achieve their full potential and to bridge educational gaps within their diverse communities. She worked on a variety of projects focused on health education, resource development, employment, and settlement services. Please join me in welcoming Vanessa Xu.
Thank you. I'm here to just tell you a little bit about our new program that's here in the Greater Toronto area. And so, you know who I am. I am actually, Active Career Events and Projects, actually a project that is within our umbrella organization, Success. So just to provide you with a brief background about our organization, Success has been around for over 40 years now. And it is, we were established in 1973. It started off providing settlement services to the Chinese community over in the Vancouver area. And now it's become a multicultural, multi-service agency, providing services in employment, settlement, language training, the family and youth programs, and we have over 20 locations over in BC, on this one in Ontario, and also overseas providing the pre-landing services. Our vision is to build a world of multicultural harmony, and our mission is to build bridges, harvest diversity, foster integration through service and advocacy. So to go into more specifically about our project, ACAP for short, to give you a bit of background about how we came about into our project was that Success ran a foreign credential recognition loan pilot project, providing microloans to ITPs to be able to go for the accreditation process. And what we found through that program was that half of the participants who were approved for the loan would usually decide not to go for the loan, hence giving up their process to go for their accreditation due to various reasons: lack of financial means, family obligations, time-consuming process. So what ends up happening is that we found that a lot of these participants or clients would end up what we deem as survival jobs, or jobs that really underutilizes the skills and expertise, or not used at all. So, and then a lot at the same time, they may be lacking the support because they are already employed. For example, maybe it's a physician working in a grocery store, so they cannot use any of their knowledge within health. And so as a health professional, many of your additional trained professions are highly regulated in Canada and require maybe a long and difficult process to start practicing. Some of you may be able to directly relate to the example that I've just described. So what can you do? Some of you may already know exactly what you might want to do next, but there may be some of you who are unsure about where to go or what to do, or maybe you have a lot of options but still don't know where to go from there. So which kind of led to what our project is about. The Active Career Advancement Project is funded by the Government of Canada, the Labour Market Integration Program, and it has two aims. It's to support underutilized immigrants to reposition themselves in alternative careers related to their expertise. And also, on the other end of the labour market, we want to also help employers to be able to hire, develop, and retain underutilized immigrants in their workforce, which I will touch upon later. We're not a job placement or job matching program, but we are really here to help support these two sides of the labor market, which I'll go into more details. Hopefully, not running out of time at the same time. And also, we are a pilot project. We have 2 service sites that have started off at the same time in the Greater Toronto area and also the Greater Vancouver area as well. And so moving forward, our program is not sector specific. So we actually do help a variety of different professionals, and health is being one of them. Arclight Eligibility to be able to join our program is an immigrant who is either a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, having been in Canada for about 5 years or more, or maybe less, depends on your situation. You're currently employed in a job that for more than 20 hours a week that does not use your skills or expertise. And that is usually self-identified. During intake, you usually just tell us how is it that you're underutilized. Also, you possess the English language proficiency sufficient to work in Canada. We say about CLB 6. Assessment is not required, but it is preferred if you have one. We usually can informally assess you during the intake process. And also, you're not currently pursuing the credential accreditation process, as in you're not enrolled in a process to get your license because ours is focused more on alternative career. However, that could be something that you want to achieve later on. or maybe you've already finished it. So if this is still a program for you to be able to help guide your alternative career pathway, you could still join us. And that you are open to seeking alternative careers relevant to your trained profession. And then, so if you are interested, what will you do from here on? Is that usually you would contact us by either email or phone to be able to complete a pre-screening to determine eligibility. If you are eligible, we register you in for an info session, and you also complete an intake assessment at the same time. So that is when you sit one-on-one with a career navigation consultant, me being a half role, to be able to really determine whether this is the most suitable program for you. Then we will have a team case conference to make sure that is, just to maybe discuss your situation and maybe to make sure that there is no other services that are more suitable to what you are aiming for. And then we try to inform you within 10 business days if you are enrolled or referred to another service. And to start the program, it's flexible. If you are not available for the next intake that's happening, we can put you on a wait list and we'll contact you again for the intake that's happening afterwards. Now, to go into more details about our services, I'll just give you a brief overview of what it is that we offer due to some of the time constraints that we have. Within our service, we have 3 stages. The first stage being a group-based training, and it is based on something called the hope-centered model of career development. So it's really centered around this concept of hope as being the belief in oneself and the belief in one's ability. And our curriculum centers around helping you build the hope for your future by addressing some of the career development challenges effectively. So in sessions 1, 2, 3, we engage in group activities that provides the foundation of visioning alternative careers through exploration of your hopes, interests, values, and skills. And then sessions 4 to 7, the last 4 sessions, we will focus on the understanding of the world of work by reviewing the importance of lifelong learning, planning, adapting, and implementing in career advancement. So basically helping you really build an action plan that you needed to know what's the next steps to take. And then also, at the same time, we must emphasize being an engaging group really helps your networking and assisting others in their endeavors as well. Next, in stage 2, after the 3.5 weeks of the group sessions, you will receive about 6 to 8 sessions of one-on-one coaching with a consultant, and it is catered to your needs, basically. We really, during this stage, we really try to help define your goals and really clarify the steps that you need to take. We provide you with relevant resources needed to make an informed decision about your career choices and to implement your action plan. So really, in the end, maybe that you are very good at your resume writing. That might not be something we want to concentrate on. Maybe we want to concentrate on more your networking skills, or maybe it is that your interviewing skills, or it is that it's also making recommendations in how to gather information or labor market research that you might need to make your decisions. So in the end, we are really helping you carve out an alternative career pathway for yourself. And then finally, the stage 3 is to do follow-up services. It's about 3 to up to a maximum of 6 months, depending on when you end stage 2. And it's usually done by phone or email, really short conversations to see how you are doing, how we can help you sustain your efforts in achieving your goals, and to provide additional help in implementing your action plan. Sometimes things happen and life changes happen, so we might have to revisit your action plan and make adjustments as we go. And then lastly, we actually do ask you to do a program evaluation because your feedback to us is very important, and we are a pilot project. So to kind of give you an overview, this might be a little text heavy right here, but to give you a little example about what it is that we can help you with, because I'm just going to do through a small walkthrough, because our services are very individualized. It's really depending on what type of support that you are looking for. So I'm giving you a scenario. Say the client was a physician in their country of origin, but is unable to obtain their license because it is too expensive. And so currently the person is working at the mall for more than 20 hours a week as a sales associate in a clothing store. So, and then we determined that they are eligible for our services. They come in and they had revealed that maybe they're looking at 2 choices right now, like an ultrasound technician or a medical underwriter within insurance, because that's where they can really apply their skills. Maybe the person comes in and have no idea what to do. So During the group sessions, we really help you clarify your relevant skills, your transferable skills, your values and workplace attractors, and other factors that go into building your career. And also, and then stage 2, in your one-on-one coaching, maybe for this individual, we will help them do some labor market research for the 2 alternative careers and maybe the education options. Looking into, questions like how much schooling are you willing to go back for? What is your timeline? Or how, and basically really doing maybe a cost-benefit analysis depending on how it is, what type of approach you're looking for. So, and also maybe provide relevant resources for financial aid. And then maybe in stage 3, when they enter on follow-up, this is where we really aim to have you actively engage in implementing your action plan, such as maybe the steps is like attending appointments with an advisor, volunteer work that you might need or be interested in. And along the way, we follow up with you and we celebrate certain achievements with you. So I really want to emphasize that our services are very, very individualized. And also to let you know that we do provide support and transportation to attend the program activities, and also training support based on your needs and whether it's relevant to your action plan. And lastly, to give you an idea what it is that we're aiming for. If you come into our program, what is it that you're aiming for? Because our program is fairly new, it just started this year, that some of the outcomes, it really depends on what your goals are. So it is really, we cannot always just aim and guarantee a job at the end of it. What we are aiming to do is really to help you build a career. Okay, so or to at least have an action plan to be able to go forward in building your career. So we really, the outcomes will depend on your goals. It could be that you are employed ideally in an alternative career, or maybe you want to increase responsibility in your current employment because we are helping those who are already employed, or maybe you want more opportunities for training or active and targeted job search, or more opportunities for networking. So we have a variety of clients who come in and with different ideas about what type of support that they're looking for. And then, so just quickly to give you a little bit of a story of a person that we know very closely, and also an example of somebody who chose an alternative career. Jamal was a physician in Iran for about 18 years, and he immigrated to Canada in 2004 with his family. He tried to obtain his Canadian medical license, but due to the long and difficult process, he decided that it was best for him to look for an alternative career. So he decided to pursue the naturopathic medicine path and has recently completed his degree. He was also among the first group of foreign trained graduates from the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. Jamal's experience is very valuable to us because he also shares his experiences with ACAP as a project advisory member, and he understands the challenges of internationally trained physicians and also professionals immigrating to Canada. So he really wants to help immigrants who are in a similar situation, and he believes that there are alternative career pathways to take. And to quickly touch base on what we do with employers, because I know I'm running out of time. To really let you know, we are not a job placement and job matching program, but what we want to help employers do is really kind of like an education piece. We want to work with employers, mainly small, medium businesses, to build and improve on their tools and strategies to becoming more inclusive and embracing their diversity within the workforce, and to really recognize the value of internationally educated talent. So, for example, maybe the employer might not know how to screen certain applicants who are bringing all this experience from their home country. So how do they really screen or interview for that and get that out of their applicants? So, and here is our contact information. We have flyers over there on the side table. I would like to let you know that we have 2 service sites, one being in Richmond Hill, one being in Toronto. And those are, if you are interested in finding out more, please contact us. It's all on the flyer over there. All right, so thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa, for telling us more about the Active Career Advancement Project. Now we have a testimonial from Xiang Hung. Xiang was one of Wes's clients in our year of inception. He was an epidemiologist in China who's going to share his experience with us about the career pathway he took in Canada. Xiang also came to speak at our WES's 15th year anniversary event last month to share his story as well.
This is my great pleasure to talk with you, to share my experience for a new immigrant to find a job in Canada through the World Education Service. I immigrated to Canada in February 20th, 2000. Firstly, landed in Vancouver because Vancouver is a warm city. I like it. I applied some of the same job as a pharmacist assistant. I got a chance to interview. The pharmacist told me prepare a drug solution. I made my efforts and finished the job. In the final, the pharmacist told me the preparation time too long and I couldn't get hired. After the first failure of my first job interview, I looked around for the specialty job related to my university education. My university education is the epidemiologist. I got my PhD in epidemiologist and also got the part-time job at the university. And I taught there for undergraduate students and graduate students. I continue to apply some of the jobs related to specialty. And by the time I couldn't get the answer and any feedback. When the human resource consultant told me they couldn't consider me application because my education credential needed to be assessed. So they suggested me contact some government recognized credential assessment company. I surfed in the internet and find a good one. World Education Service at the Toronto office. And I contacted them and they teach me how to apply it. It's very simple procedure. I just mailed forward my education diploma and certificate to the office and paid the evaluation fee. Within 2 weeks, I got my credential assessment done. I used this assessment report to apply more jobs. And I find that this is very cost-benefit the way to find a job. Within 4 weeks, I got several job interviews and got the first job in the half Canada as literature research and do some specific job. My job is to review some the prevention and control for specific disease. I made my efforts to my job and meet the deadline. Within 3 months, I write a good manuscript. All the manuscript for the accepted by a Canadian journal. So I had a second chance to do the job and continue one by one. I find the World Education Service and the credential evaluated report like the cornerstone I built my career future one by one, and finally, I got the permanent job in Canada on July 22nd, 2010. When I look back at my life journey in Canada, the first job was the most difficult for our new immigrants. World Education Service helped us, like the ferryman, to send me to the approach the dream destination. I just want to take this opportunity. Thank you, World Education Service, from my bottom of my heart. Thank you to the good job for the new immigrants, find a good job and live the dreamed life. Thank you. I just want to thank you all my friends and colleagues during my life journey. Thank you, everybody, and good future for your guys. Thank you.
What I wanted to do before we closed out is talk about a couple of stories around job seeking and hiring and the alternative career stories. Part of my background and one of the reasons I joined WES is not only I grew up in an immigrant family, but I also have a lot of experience hiring skilled immigrants. Throughout my career, I've been at it about 20 years. I've hired over 150 people, and about 50 of those people were actually in the healthcare system. I used to work for an organization called HealthLink BC. It's part of the Ministry of Health in British Columbia. And there was two stories that were really highly related to what people have spoken about this evening. Really, it's about two candidates I hired. So I ran a healthcare information service. So it wasn't, a clinical delivery. We were associated with it. We're publishing healthcare and providing navigation services for people how to get around the healthcare system in British Columbia. And to do that, I needed researchers. At first I needed 25, and then I had a standard team of 10 people who worked on it. One of the best candidates I hired was a former physician from the Philippines. He had been in Canada about 6 months, and I saw his resume, and I'm like, well, this is really interesting. So why is he applying for this position? And what I decided to do was give him a call, and he explained why he was interested. He was here, he wanted to settle in. And he became a real success story. It wasn't that the position was commensurate or as prestigious as what he had done in the Philippines. However, he was in the right position to essentially become management in the healthcare system. And he had kind of positioned himself with stable employment very quickly and was able to either pursue relicensing or simply pursue management in a different route. And I thought that was an excellent example of someone pursuing an alternative career in a way that satisfied them. He was very happy about it and positioned him for success. There was another story, however, that somebody was equally as good a candidate, wasn't a physician, but had come from abroad and had an excellent background. They had worked in public health, so they understood healthcare systems, how things were interrelated, why we were doing what we're doing. There's a lot of context and background that was extremely valuable. However, he showed up to the interview. He was very excited to interview him. He had spoken well on the phone. When speaking during the interview, he said some things that weren't very appropriate in Canadian context. It wasn't very Canadian. And some of the people in the room were slightly offended. I knew he didn't mean it the way he said it. It was just different terminology, different ways of speaking. But I couldn't get anybody to feel comfortable with it. Even though I knew he could do the job, he'd be good at the job, I could move him forward with the language thing, but I couldn't get past the barrier with others. They were kind of threatened by the cultural diversity. And that, I think, is one of the things which we didn't talk that much about today, but the cultural competence piece going forward is an extremely part of understanding how to find employment in the Canadian context. Is something we found through our research at WES and throughout the sector, that understanding how to be an active Canadian in a Canadian workplace is extremely important. I come from a kind of bicultural background, so I said I grew up in an immigrant family. Really, I grew up in an Italian household in Canada. So I learned to be Canadian at school, I learned to be Canadian with my friends, I learned what they ate when I was 12 and went to their houses, and I thought it was really weird. Okay. But what's interesting about it being, I'm a very bicultural person, I speak Italian fluently, I go to Italy all the time, is that I have to adopt two personas, and I'm very aware of it. I mean, because of this, having two contexts. In most immigrant families this is true, but I have to be a very different person. If I try to do in the workplace what you have to do in Italy here, people would think I was Larry, so a very strange person. Why do you keep calling me by my last name? I don't understand. Whereas in Italy, if I call people by their first name, I get fired for it. So there's all these examples of how to become Canadian, and sometimes it is about having a different persona. And I just thought that was an interesting story to tell. So I know there's a Q&A session that has to happen right now. So please open the floor to everyone to ask questions.
Regarding ITMT, you said that you have limited funds. So what's the point for more than 5,000 people here to use your recommendation?
This is important. I think, thank you very much. This is a very important question. So I touched a little bit, but I didn't dig detail. As you know, when you want to start something, you have to go certain process, right? So if you start with the bigger thing, then you cannot follow the process properly. We don't want to do any mistake when we start a new thing. That's why we call this pilot. And the second is why small number? Because see, I have only 10 or 12 friends who gladly accept to help me. So I have a limitation to see my friends' limitation, right? If I am really win-win situation. So it's totally volunteering. So they are sacrificing their space, their manpower to help our student. So I can ask for them 2 people, 2 seats occupied for 2 months in this country. If you know, you can, if you ask your some Canadian friends, so in the workplace to find a working station is costly. And also mentor is not readily available to spare 2 people. We don't want to just put 3 people here, just like just put it here and that not supervising anything. So we want to interact one-on-one basis, and that's why we want to limit only with our 9 or 10 friends. So that's the beginning point. So but once this out, now people know, now I'm getting a lot of friends who want to join us. So we hope we will increase this. Does it make sense to you? And I could say now other university like our GT University also expressed their interest. So once there, they have a different network. So I wish I could use that network in future, and maybe it will help many people. But now we want to be very careful. So with this limited number of people, so that we have to see how successful they are, how happy they are. So not only making the number, I can accept 100 people in one semester, and we can have a lot of money, and afterward you are nowhere, and you are not learning anything, you are not connected with a good person, it doesn't make any sense to me. So better go slowly but surely. So yeah, last 20, 30 years nothing happened. So why we should rush? We'd like to do the academics, do the research, do slowly, and based on the success, we'll build up. So of course now it's a competitive, as I said, 1:12, 1:10. So one spot, 15 people competing. Even PhD program in my program in UFT, so 1:5 or 6 or 7. But bridging program 1:15 people or 12 people. You can imagine this competition. But it's a good thing. So people create the interest, and the other partner will come forward, of course, if there's other success. That's the reason. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
I would like to thank all the speakers for their helpful and nice speeches. I have a question for you, Dr. Shafi. I wonder if there are similar programs to what you have initiated in Canada. Are there other programs similar to yours?
For now, not similar like kind of thing. There is a program going on at McMaster University, like clinical research, which is 1 year. I don't know detail. Maybe I saw many ITMDs, they're taking the course, but they are applying for my course. Even many MPH program in outside the Ontario, they finish the immigrant doctors, they apply for the program. So far, I know there is nothing like this in kind in Canada, but recently I met London Mayor and Western University, and also York University Dean and their staff, and also UFT also going forward to make master program, PhD program. So it's growing. So it's up to you, I mean ITMD's interest, if they really want to grow, is there's opportunities coming forward. I can see light end of the tunnel, because I can see.
Actually, my question is to you only.
Okay.
First of all, I appreciate you and your organizations and the effort to create such program.
Thank you.
I was mainly interested in one of the slides which says the non-related profession like maybe healthcare management or data analytics or some of those. So like the training or the bridging program for those programs is the individual sessions or each are having in one program we have compiled all those this thing, like how it is. It was not just clear to me. So
Yes, sorry. So okay, I will make it clear. This is a very good question actually. Thank you. So many people realize it's online. So many people try to register for one course. I said the same answer, that it's not the one individual thing, it's a package. We got a 12-week interest session and 4-week practical training. The 12-week we have a Monday to Friday, 5 days, 4 subjects, and 1 day is the seminar, symposium, networking event, right?
Exactly.
So 4 days, they took every day each subject. So Monday is professional communication and leadership, and Tuesday is project management, and Thursday is health research, and Wednesday is data analytics and this kind of thing. So every week we run this way. This is the 12 consecutive week. So then they finish 30 to 36 hours for each individual subject. And we have an exam, you have to pass it to go for your practical. So we give a whole comprehensive, this is one package program for you, so that you can decide, I don't want to limit you only for research, I don't want to limit you only for management, we want to give a whole thing. So example, if you are hired as a clinical researcher or research coordinator or assistant, you have to manage the program, you have to manage the project, you have to manage the money, you have to manage the people. So that's why we make a package, so that you will learn how to manage the people, you learn how to manage the money, and you learn how to manage the science. So all 3 things you have. But of course, everybody is different. All the finger is not the same, it's different. So you may have interest for management, you go for it. You may interest in research, you go for it. You may interest in data analytics, you can go for this way. You know everything because you are a graduate already and you have all work experience. So that's the reason it's a package program.
my next question is just attached with this, with this answer. Like here, what I've seen in past, maybe few kinds of 2 days, that employers are really interested in very specific things in the candidate. Like either he is, expert either in data analytics or expert in research, health research.
Yeah.
So their employer looking for very specific things. So does it, their program like which is a package of, various skills, will definitely help us.
Yeah, very, very interesting thing. So you are already graduate, highly qualified, and we unpack your niche things, and you understood maybe health research or data analytics is your focus. So we give you stimulation to go further, beyond extra mile. So we are on the 30 to 36 week, 32 hour limitation. We cannot give you master's or PhD with that. So our program is to give you the spark, the sense, which is your interest. Then you go for master degree. There is so many programs in this country. So master of health informatics. So honestly, the 12 of our students, 6 people get a job. Another 4 people said, we don't want to go for job. We want to go for master degree. That is the achievement also. I'm not considering the job is the main goal. Once you are ready, you can get job anytime. But then your narratives, your resume, your writing will guide you who you are and why you're interested in health informatics job. So it doesn't mean you have to take only one thing. So when I was in medical school, I studied physiology, anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, all sorts of things, right? You also do the same thing. But when I go for practice, I was anesthesiologist. It doesn't mean I can be only focus on anesthesia. I have to fall through all the process, right? I have to learn everything, then I focus on this. So when I did a PhD, it doesn't mean I know everything. I know only very small thing about maternal and child health handbook, how this book empower women to go to the medical clinic to get service, to be for safe delivery. So I know only that thing, how to bring mother to the health center. I don't know other things. So it's the same thing. So once you want to pinpoint your interest, you have to go for it by your own. And you have to convince your employer that you are excellent about this and you took this training in Canada and you worked with it and you saw that it's doable and you are competent to help support that organization to grow, to bring their success to the next level. The way you have to articulate your narratives. It's all about narratives. It's not about me. It's not about the program. It's you. Does that make sense? Yeah, please. Yeah.
Have you ever realized what is the mental setback for all those international graduates?
Yeah. So I want to be very positive.
Is that we are not capable enough?
No, it's not that fact.
It's like shattering the self-esteem. I'm telling you an experience about my friend. I've been knowing her for so many years, and she is a very good physician. She has applied for the program ITMP, and I was the one who forwarded her the email. She did the whole procedure, and she got the reply that, well, we are very sorry, we cannot take you. And believe me, she was depressed after that. So let us see this aspect also, that it's positive, but at the same time it's creating a negative effect.
Yeah, you know, once you have to achieve some good thing, you have to, there is some pain to gain something. So I think our strategy is who will go first. Everybody is qualified. So because of limited number, so we have to determine who will go first. That's the thing actually. I don't say this is the best procedure, but we have at this point we have this strategy. So we have to. Yes, there is no other university. That's the problem. So only one provider for 6,000 people. You can imagine. As I said, it's a pain. I understand. But when there is nothing at all, at least 15 people can get hope, and at least one people can get a good, decent thing what you want to do. It's not about the money. It's about the passion. These people here in this country, they came with a huge dream to do something. When there is no program in place, so we, Ryerson University Chinese School, try to bring this in the agenda. At least now you can talk. Now our colleagues from OS and Health Ministry and MCR, they are talking, and it's an issue now. Of course, this will go to the policymakers, I don't know, but I can guarantee you, I don't know, it's we all together, it's not me. So I think one day this thing will change. I'm always positive, and I think this is the stepping stone. This is not the whole solution. I told in my deliberation that this is not the solution. You deserve more, but I cannot do more than that at this point. This is our limitation, but you have to understand why this happened. So then we have to work together. Collective brain always better. Not only policymaker, not only participant, not only academics. If all three groups we work together, one day, not so far, we will see, as I said just earlier. So York University, UFT, Western, Ryerson is now working hard to make more, but we have to find a practical spot, right? So only teaching is not enough. Teaching, you have a lot of books, lot of knowledge. So you need practical engagement, you need practical connection. So that's we need to explore. And that is new. And I'm very thankful to my partner organizations that were kindly accepted. So our candidates, and also will accept candidates in future. I think we will grow. And we will grow together. Before I was thinking about, I have to explain everything to everyone, to my dean, provost, and higher level. Now I have 30 people with me. Now I have 5 instructors with me. Now I have 10 partners with me. So our family is now 50 members. Now WES is now with us. So we have 100 people now on board. So collective tool always better. I think our good time is coming. Happy day is coming. Don't be upset and be positive, and hope we will overcome the situation. Thank you.
Larry and Vanessa, do you have anything to add in terms of the alternative programs that you could potentially help with because the program is full? Do you guys want to say a couple of words?
There's a bridge training program for mental health professionals, and so I think one of the things, there's different programs, all of them will have different intake, who who they're looking for as to be a good fit to the program, the number of spaces they have, how the programs, how many times a year that programs are run. So each program is unique, but just in terms of from a health professional, that's a program that's had people have a background in mental health, and putting them through a program like this of an orientation, and then also to have a practical assignment, ideally leading towards job readiness as much as possible. It's a program that's run by the Mennonite News Center. There are other bridge training programs, and through the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration website, they have a link to bridge training programs in the province. Some bridge training programs are built around moving towards licensed professions, and other bridge training programs may be broader than that. So there's a link to, from our website, on one of our pages we have some resources, and one of those is a link to the list of those bridge training programs. But as Shafi mentioned, there are different organizations that are interested through the education. We have a very strong, robust education infrastructure here. So some programs that colleges and universities have, maybe they have all their own criteria for and the goals and the objectives of the program. Some of them might be in a bridge training, others may be professional development programs, depending on the context and your interest and the match. Some of them might align to what your interests are. So certainly there's resources and links that can help navigate that, and questions that you could direct to various agencies that help people explore those education options.
To address some of the questions about alternative careers, and also to, the exploration piece in it. For our program specifically, although it is pretty new, we want to help those to be able to understand what other types of careers are out there, what other types of work is out there, that is really related to maybe what your trained profession is, or maybe something that you have, not necessarily that you were trained for, but maybe you have experience in or are interested in. So, and we bring up the hope piece where within our program, what it is that we based it upon a model that was created by these professionals at UBC and other universities. And it was really concentrated on the fact that a lot of immigrants who's been here for 5 years or more tend to lose a lot of hope because of mainly the situation that they've been in. So within our program, that's the reason why we use this piece to be able to develop the curriculum that we did, to be able to we show the understanding that it is not just about finding the job. It is really about building that motivation piece to be able to go towards your career goal, and to be able to identify what it is that you want to do. And along the way, it is we encourage you to be action oriented, because as a support service providers, and some of us, I don't know, maybe the others might be able to relate, there's only so much that we can do on our end too. But then what we aim to do within our program is really to try to help the individuals be able to become well equipped in terms of the career development. We may not always have all the answers, but it is that we are able to help you, support you in the best way possible. And that's also the reason why a lot of times we make connections as an agency to other organizations and other programs, because if our program is not the right place for you, or if we don't offer the right support for you, then we want to know where else can you go to. So there are options out there. It's just really about finding out what it is that you are looking for first, and then we can actually go from there. So thank you.